We have invested in an enormous amount of effort with Bilbies into predator exclusion fencing and an insurance population of Bilbies, which we've done successfully at Currawinga National Park, and there are others all managed under a meta-population plan right the way across Australia to make sure that we've got a genetically healthy population of Bilbies in the unfortunate event that they may go extinct in the wild, and we have to maintain a genetic pool that can sustain us for 100 years while we try and sort out the problems that have faced the Bilbies in the wild. But more importantly than anything is the last remaining extant population of Bilbies in Australia.
So we're trying to get a handle on the occupancy of Bilbies in those wild populations as well as their predators. So I guess the main aim is really to understand when Bilbies kind of drop out of the system, like what's the level of predator activity going on there, so that we can work out what's too much predator activity for the Bilbies to persist with. Because then once we know that upper level, that's kind of a threshold, we know that we need to control predators below that level so that those Bilbies can persist in the environment. So yeah, we started out monitoring 3 properties. So Currawinga was one of those, and we had 2 cattle stations out in Channel Country. But we've since extended that, and now we're monitoring across 6 different properties. And we've been going for over a year and a half now. We've got over 2 million images that have been processed on the cameras, and we've got some great data. We've written up a report for the first 3 properties now, and we've got a bit of an understanding of what's happening on those 3 stations.
When you look at how that land use has changed, the introduction of feral animals and pests, and the pressures that's put on those animals that are living out there, that are living in really tough marginal environments and walking a knife edge at the best of times. And when you throw those sort of foreign threats, it really tipped many over the edge. And that pressure is still on many of those out there.
Because it's very unlikely that we'll ever be able to remove every feral cat, for example, right the way across Australia. But if we can understand at what level Bilbies can persist, perhaps we can manage landscapes to give Bilbies a better chance right throughout their former range. This Christmas we're going to be appealing to undertake our broad-scale survey of Bilbies in far western Queensland. The last time we were able to do that work was back in 2021. To put it into some sort of context, in Bilby years, any young Bilbies that were out in Western Queensland back 5 years ago would be the equivalent of 60 years old in human years. So it's so important that we undertake this work to understand the threats that they're facing in the wild now. So please, if you can, support our appeal this Christmas so that we can undertake that important work to get out into wild Bilby country and understand where we need to focus our management efforts to keep Bilbies here for our next generations of young Australians. Thanks again, everyone.